Hey guys, it's Technocraft. I'm back with another video. This has been a video I've been wanting to make for a really long time, and finally here with it today. It's my fully finished 747-200 cockpit, made entirely out of paper. And in this video I'll be giving you a full tour of all of the functioning and working parts and controls on this aircraft. So let's get started. This plane is actually modeled after a 747-200 from Pan Am. And, oops. So, we're going to sit down here and give you a main tour of all the sections of controls. Start back here with the flight engineer. So, over here you've got the main hydraulic system. You've got engine, air pumps and engine pumps for each engine. You have the fuel quantity indicators, working clock, mic selectors for the radio, engine panel number 1, you've got exhaust gas temperature N1 and exhaust heat. Up here you have another engine panel that shows the oil pressure, again the exhaust gas temperature, and these working knobs that allow you to switch fuel to the other tanks. You can switch them any way you want. These knobs actually work. Below that you've got 4 fault warnings. These are lights that illuminate if something goes wrong. Another thing, over here you have an engine start light. Here you have the main battery power. So if you turn that on, you see the green light. You see the engine start light also illuminates when you click. So that's pretty cool. So there you have the tanks. The fuel quantity. There are 3 tanks on this aircraft. There's the center tank and the 2 on one on each wing. Above that you have temperature cool or de-ice on the wings and the engines. The oil valve circulates oil between the 2 pipes. Here's galley power, gives electric power to the galleys on board, therefore. Over here, there are actually 6 galleys, but there are 4 zones. Below that, you have 4 zones for the recirculating fans. You have the air conditioning systems over here, cabin pressurization. These are actually one of the 3 most important things in the aircraft. Cabin pressurization for the attendants, crew rest area, and passengers, and the fasten belt switch. Next to that, you have the main electric systems. You have amp meters here, and bus tie controls. These control the circuits and the electrics of the aircraft. Next to that, you have cockpit power. This is the main master cockpit power switch. Next to that, it says the master power must be turned on in order to supply cockpit and cabin power. So, the master power switch is all the way up here, which I'll be showing you in a second. Above that, you have the APU, bleed air, and the electrical switch, as well as fire test. These switches all actually work, so you can turn it on, turn it off, and you can switch the APU source as well. Above that, you have the brake temperature monitor. This has to do with how hot the brakes are. Above that, I got some of these anti-ice controls that are supposed to be on the overhead panel, but I don't have one. So next to that, we have the rudder hydraulic pressure. It's the upper and lower rudder. You have 2 pumps that power the hydraulic systems, and secondary pumps in case the main hydraulics fail. Next to that, you have the low pressure warning for the hydraulics and the rudder, and a test switch. So when you push the test switch, it actually illuminates. It's pretty cool. Next to that, you have the main landing gear warnings. We have no warnings now, which is good. Tire pressure, and the landing gear status verification. Next to that, we have the main auto brake controls for takeoff and landing, body gear steering, and anti-skid controls. Here in the corner, you have the APU fire switch, so in case the APU or auxiliary power unit catches on fire, you can pull that out. Below that, you have the hydraulic pressure for the 5 slats on the gear. Over here you have another hydraulic system, all the fuel pumps and auxiliary fuel pumps. Here you have the master warning with working test switches. There's the engine temperature. Here you have the engine fire levers, flight recorder, and here are the smoke detectors that are down in the main deck, the test switches, and here are the hose valve switches. They actually turn. The switches go up and down, which is pretty cool. And here's the master power that I was talking about. So there's AC and DC power. You have the AC power general and the battery for each. So we can turn these on. That's how we get power. And yeah, that's the quick tour of the Flight Engineer panel. I went through all the controls. Oh yeah, these. The oil temperature and the oil down the tanks and the oil pressure in the tanks. The 3 pipes. Alright, now we're going to move to the front. This is one of the another important system aboard the aircraft. This is how you fly it. So you have the main 4 thrust levers. So you can control each individual engine, as you can see, and you can push it forward together, full power, and idle. You also have thrust reversers, which also work, and a speed brake. This actually can retract by itself, as you can see. Stabilizer trim and flaps. They actually go all the way up. Over here is the yoke with a fixed clipboard. So when you turn the yoke, it doesn't turn the clipboard, which is pretty cool. And I also had a spring mechanism. If you watched my last video, I updated the yoke. You see it looks much more realistic. And after you push it forward and you release it, it returns back to its position. And when you pull up, it also returns back to the position. Got the main airspeed indicators, the artificial horizon, the flaps. Still don't have needles for those. Here's the aileron trim and the main engine statuses. They're similar to the ones in the Flight Engineer panel. There's the gear lever. It actually works. And above that, you have the autopilot controls. They work as well, as you can see. All of them work. And you have vertical speed, heading, this is a multi-switch, and altitude actually works, altitude select. And yeah. Also the radio panel here also works. And yeah, that's basically it for the whole cockpit. That was actually 8 minutes. That was actually quite long, but it was a very quick but detailed tour. If you have any more questions, you want to see anything in detail, I'll bring that up in the next video. And soon I'll be doing a flight in this with a monitor up there displaying the runway and connecting all the controls. But yeah, this is what I have in my 747-200 cockpit. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, comment, and yeah, see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.